I've always been the type to have a curious mind. Even when I was a little girl, I've always wanted to know the answers to every single little thing. I would go around asking random people random questions like where does water come from, or why is the sky blue, or why am I a girl and why is my brother a boy? My childhood was full of all these questions and all this curiosity. It didn't hit me until I was about 13 or 14 years old that all this curiosity was one day going to bring me a devastating answer. You see, questions like, where are those bruises coming from, Mom? Or why does Mommy have a black eye started to come up. And then I think back and I remember always wondering, why was my father screaming at my mother behind a closed door? Or why was my mother crying behind a closed door and never answering any of the questions that I would ask her? I came to realize that my mother was in an abusive relationship for 20 years. I was completely oblivious to the domestic abuse going on in my own family. And for 13 years of my life, I had no idea my mother was going through such a thing. My mother never spoke a single word of the abuse being given to her. Behind multiple trips to the hospital, hundreds of tears, and hundreds of bruises, not one single word was ever spoke up about her living life of domestic abuse. According to domesticshelter.org, 1.3 million women are victims of physical assault and domestic violence per year. Out of all those women, most cases are never even reported to higher authority. These women, like my mom, are going through this abuse and saying absolutely nothing about it. They are hiding behind their bruises and they're allowing themselves to go through this lifetime full of pain because they are scared to speak out. The specific women going through the abuse aren't the only ones keeping their mouth closed either. According to domesticshelter.org, 33% of these people who know of a woman being abused will not speak up about it. The need for these women going through such things, is rising every single day. The need for them to feel comfortable and safe enough to leave their relationship and get out continues to grow. Help is out there and help is available for these women. And they are put in place to show them the importance to speak up and to get away from their abuse and how significant it is to speak up about their problems. Like my mother, the reasons behind why these women don't speak up are completely endless. Some women just are afraid to break up their family. Some women are just afraid to even attempt to leave. Or there's some women out there, like my own mother, who are just too forgiving and too kind-hearted natured to just not realize that they deserve better and they don't deserve to live this life full of pain. It is extremely important for these women to understand that speaking up can change their lives and speaking up can make a huge difference. There are shelters and there are homes for these women to evacuate to. These homes can be found by going to noabuse.org. Hotlines are even available at all times during the day for the support and for the safety of these women. Another thing is just a simple call to 1-800-799-SAFE could completely better and change the lives of these victims. People all around the world have realized how important this situation is and how many women are being abused today. There are people out there that are here to help these women and to help them realize that speaking up about their circumstances will completely change their lives. So imagine a world where no woman felt like she ever had to hide behind her pain, or no woman ever felt like she had to hide behind her bruises. Imagine a world where no child had to ask questions like I did and ask their mothers why they had bruises or why they were taking trips to the hospital. This is the kind of world that we should be attempting to get towards. This should be the goal that we all attempt to achieve. These women deserve to feel safe enough to speak out about their circumstances and their situations, and they deserve to know that speaking up can really get them help. By giving our support to these women and supplying them with all the homes and the hotlines and comfort that they need to gain safety, we are giving them the support and comfort and helping them in their fight to speak out. No woman ever deserves to be silenced by their pain and held back by their abuse. Every single day is another chance to get a woman to escape their life of pain. Every day is another chance to show these women how speaking